My wife said, "I've been poisoning your food to make you seem crazy." I said, "I haven't eaten home food in months." The hidden cameras caught everything. When the police arrested her, they found her diary detailing her $1 million insurance plot. I, 38 male, installed security cameras in our house 3 months ago. Not because I suspected my wife Margot, 35, of trying to kill me. That revelation came later. No, put them up because I'd been feeling off. Dizzy spells, confusion, memory gaps. Started around 6 months ago. Doctor ran every test imaginable. Everything came back normal. Margot was so supportive. Drove me to appointments, held my hand during MRIs, even started making all my meals to help with whatever's going on. She'd bring me these elaborate smoothies every morning, pack my lunch with homemade soups, insist on cooking dinner every single night. Said she read that proper nutrition might help with my episodes. The breaking point was when I forgot an entire weekend. According to Margot, I'd spent Saturday and Sunday in bed, barely coherent. I had zero memory of it. That's when I started documenting everything. And yeah, that's when I got the cameras. See, Margot didn't know that my buddy Terrence is a lawyer who deals with medical malpractice. When I told him about my symptoms, he said something that stuck. Keep records of everything. Food, drinks, when symptoms hit. Could be environmental. So I did, and I noticed a pattern real quick. Bad days always followed home-cooked meals. Always. I started pretending to eat her food. I'd take my lunch to work and dump it. Stopped drinking the smoothies, poured them down the bathroom sink while the shower ran. Told her I was grabbing breakfast with clients. Dinner, I'd push food around, take tiny bites, then claim I wasn't hungry from a big lunch. Within 2 weeks, my symptoms disappeared. Completely. That's when I knew. My wife was poisoning me. But I needed proof. So I kept up the act for another month. Let her see me getting worse while secretly getting better. I'd stumble occasionally, pretend to forget conversations, act confused about dates. Meanwhile, the cameras were recording everything. And holy shit, what they captured. Margot grinding up pills and mixing them into my food. She had a whole stash hidden in a tampon box under the bathroom sink. Benzos, sleeping pills, some stuff I couldn't identify. The methodical way she'd measure it out, checking a notebook, adjusting doses. She was keeping fucking notes. Last Tuesday, I decided I had enough evidence. I was ready to go to the police, but Margot must have sensed something because that night, she confronted me. "You seem better lately," she said over dinner, that I wasn't eating. "Yeah, those new vitamins from Dr. Morrison are helping." Her eye twitched. "You never mentioned new vitamins." Didn't I? Must have forgotten. You know how my memory's been. She stood up, walked over to me, and put her hands on my shoulders. "Baby, I need to tell you something." Here it comes, I thought, a confession. Maybe she'll claim it was an accident, or "I've been poisoning your food to make you seem crazy." Just straight up admitted it, like she was telling me she'd forgotten to buy milk. I kept my voice steady. "Why?" She smiled. The insurance, obviously, but also because I'm just so tired of you. God, you're boring. Do you know how exhausting it is pretending to love someone so mediocre? At least if you were crazy, I'd get sympathy. Poor Margot, dealing with her mentally ill husband. Then when you finally had your accident, everyone would understand. "I haven't eaten home food in months." Her face went white. "What?" "I haven't eaten anything you've made since September. Those smoothies? Down the drain. The lunches? In the dumpster behind my office. Dinner? I'm pretty good at sleight of hand, turns out." "You're lying." I pulled out my phone, showed her a clip from the kitchen camera. Her measuring pills, her checking her notebook, her stirring them into my smoothie. The way she lunged at me was almost comical. I just stepped back and called 911. "My wife just confessed to poisoning me. I have video evidence. Please send someone now." Update 1. The police response was intense. 4 cars, a detective, and apparently they take poisoning very seriously. Detective Russo, this older woman who looked like she'd seen everything, took one look at my documentation and said, "Sir, you might have just saved your own life." They arrested Margot on the spot. She went from sobbing to screaming to trying to convince them I was the crazy one. "He's paranoid. He installed cameras to spy on me. Check his medical records. He's been having delusions." Yeah, about those medical records. Turns out, Margot had been calling my doctor's office, pretending to be concerned about my mental state, telling them about behaviors I'd never exhibited, building a paper trail for my eventual breakdown. But here's where it gets really dark. The police searched our house. In Margot's closet, hidden in a boots box, they found her diary. Detective Russo called me the next day. "Sir, you need to come down to the station." The diary went back 2 years. 2 fucking years of planning. She'd researched poisoning methods, dosages, how to create symptoms of mental illness. She'd taken out $1 million life insurance policy on me without my knowledge. Apparently you can do that on your spouse. She had a timeline. Phase 1, small doses to create confusion, 6 months. Phase 2, increased dose, get me committed, 3 months. Phase 3, accidental overdose while I'm mentally unstable, 1 month. She'd even practiced her grieving widow act. There were entries about what she'd wear to my funeral, a designer dress she'd already bought, how she'd cry at the service, the speech she'd give about mental health awareness. The kicker, she'd been having an affair with her personal trainer, Dimitri. They had plans to move to Costa Rica after she collected the insurance money. She'd written, "D says $1 million should last us at least 5 years down there. After that, maybe I'll find another boring husband with good insurance." I threw up. Right there in the detective's office. Update 2. So Margot's out on bail. Her parents posted $250,000. Must be nice having rich parents who believe their baby girl could never do such things. First thing she did? Showed up at my office with her sister Bethany and her mom Diane. In my workplace. My assistant called security immediately, but they got their show in first. "How dare you frame our daughter? She told us everything. How you've been paranoid, accusing her of affairs, installing cameras to stalk her. Bethany, you're sick. You need help." My coworkers were watching this train wreck. Then Margot started her performance. "I just wanted to help you." Fake tears streaming. "I know you're not well, baby. Please let me take you home. We can work through this together." I pulled up the confession video on my phone, played it on speaker, full volume. "I've been poisoning your food to make you seem crazy. The insurance, obviously. God, you're boring." The entire office floor went silent. Margot's face crumbled. "That's AI. He faked it." Security arrived. As they were escorting them out, Diane screamed, "We'll sue you for everything. Defamation, emotional distress." Bethany added, "You'll regret this when Margot's lawyer destroys you." Margot just stared at me with pure hatred. "You have no idea what I'm capable of." Actually, I did. That's why I had already moved out of our house and was staying at an extended stay hotel under a fake name. Good call, because that night, Dimitri, the trainer boyfriend, showed up at our house. My neighbor Hank sent me Ring doorbell footage. Dimitri tried to break in, probably looking for the diary or camera footage. Idiot didn't realize the police had already taken everything as evidence. He triggered the alarm I'd installed. Cops picked him up for attempted burglary. Turns out Dimitri has a record: assault, theft, and, wait for it, insurance fraud. He'd helped a previous girlfriend stage a robbery for insurance money. Prosecutors are very interested in this connection. Update 3. The entitlement escalated beyond anything I imagined. Margot's lawyer, some slick dude named Preston, filed a motion claiming I was abusive and controlling, that the cameras were illegal surveillance, that I'd deliberately triggered her mental health issues by pretending to be sick. Then Margot did something monumentally stupid. She created a blog, Surviving My Abusive Ex, A Victim's Story. She posted our private photos, claiming I forced her to smile in them. She wrote about how I financially controlled her. She hasn't worked in 3 years by choice. She even posted a video of herself with a black eye, claiming I hit her. Problem? The metadata on that video showed it was filmed 2 days after she was arrested. And my lawyer found the makeup tutorial she'd watched on YouTube, creating realistic bruises for film. But the peak entitlement came when she tried to sell her story to a true crime podcast. Emailed them saying she was a victim of the patriarchy who'd been pushed to the brink by her psychologically abusive husband. She wanted $50,000 for an exclusive interview. The podcast host happened to be married to a prosecutor in our jurisdiction. They forwarded everything to the DA's office. Then Margot's family turned it up to 11. Diane started a petition, Free Margot, victim of systematic male violence. Got maybe 12 signatures, mostly from her book club. Bethany went on local morning news claiming I was part of a men's rights conspiracy to frame innocent women. The interview was a disaster. When the host asked for evidence, Bethany said, "Evidence is a tool of the patriarchy." They tried to get me fired, calling my company's board of directors. My CEO called me personally. "We've reviewed everything with legal. You have our full support. Also, your wife's mother just offered me a bribe to fire you. We're pressing charges." Add witness tampering to the list. Update 4. Trial started Monday. Margot showed up in a wheelchair. Claimed the stress had caused chronic fatigue syndrome. Her lawyer's opening statement was wild. Apparently, I had been subtly poisoning Margot first, causing her to have a psychological break where she may have inadvertently added some medications to my food, thinking they were vitamins. The prosecutor, this absolute legend named Regina, just said, "We have video, we have her diary, we have her confession. This isn't complicated." Day 2, they played the videos, all of them. Margot measuring pills, checking her notebook, stirring them into food. The jury looked horrified. Day 3, the diary readings. Regina read them in this matter-of-fact tone that made it worse somehow. Tuesday, increased dose to 15 milligrams. He seemed confused at dinner. Perfect. Dimitri says I'm so brave for dealing with this. Margot started sobbing. Her mom shouted, "That's not her handwriting. Ma'am, control yourself or leave. This is a kangaroo court." She was escorted out. Day 4, Dimitri testified. Against Margot. Yeah, he flipped for a plea deal. His testimony was damning. Margot had approached him with the plans 6 months into their affair. She'd promised him $400,000 once she collected the insurance. She'd told him I was abusive. He believed her at first. She'd given him a key to our house to plant more evidence if needed. She said it would be easy, Dimitri testified. That her husband was weak and nobody would question it when he finally snapped. Margot screamed, "You lying bastard. You said you loved me." Her lawyer physically held her back. Day 5, I testified. Hardest thing I've ever done. Talking about realizing my wife was slowly killing me. About the fear of eating anything. About sleeping with a locked door between us. About wondering if she'd just shoot me when the poison didn't work. Margot's lawyer tried to make me seem paranoid. "So you secretly filmed your wife for months?" "I filmed my house. She happened to be poisoning me in it." "You threw away food she lovingly prepared?" "I threw away poison." "You lied to her about eating?" "I survived." The jury deliberated for 2 hours, guilty on all counts, attempted murder, insurance fraud, conspiracy. Margot collapsed, had to be carried out. Bethany screamed that we'd all pay for this. Diane wailed about her innocent baby. Sentencing is next month. Prosecutor says she's looking at 15 to 25 years. Final update. Margot got 18 years. The sentencing was something else. She showed up with a shaved head, claiming she had cancer now from the stress. Her lawyer actually presented fake medical documents. The prosecutor had already verified with the hospital she'd never been treated there. Add fraud to her prison time. Now it's 22 years. Her victim impact statement was insane. "I'm the real victim here. My husband drove me to this with his boring personality and refusal to be interesting. Prison will kill someone as delicate as me. I demand house arrest at my parents' home." The judge's response, "Ma'am, you systematically poisoned your husband for months while planning his murder. You documented it. You bragged about it. You felt no remorse. Society needs protection from you." Diane and Bethany had to be dragged out screaming about appeals and judicial corruption. Now the aftermath. The divorce was finalized last week. Since she attempted to murder me, she gets nothing. Nothing. Not even her jewelry. It's all marital assets. Dimitri got 5 years for conspiracy. His mom showed up at my hotel to beg me to forgive her boy. I told her to leave or I'd call the cops. She called me heartless. "Lady, your son helped plan my murder." Diane and Bethany? Diane's been charged with attempted bribery and witness tampering. Bethany's been banned from 3 restaurants for harassing staff who look like that murderer, meaning me, but I've never been to those places. They started a GoFundMe for Margot's appeal. It raised $47 before being taken down for violating terms of service. The house sale closed yesterday. I'm moving 2 states away, starting fresh. My health? completely back to normal. Turns out not being poisoned does wonders for your well-being. I'm in therapy, obviously. Trust issues don't begin to cover it. My therapist says I handled it remarkably well. I said I just didn't want to die. She said that's the best reason to handle anything well. I've started dating again. Very casually. Her name's Claire, she's a forensic accountant, and her first question when I told her this story was, "Did you check all your other insurance policies?" I think I like her. To everyone asking how I stayed so calm, I wasn't. I was terrified every single day. But fear kept me sharp, kept me documenting, kept me alive. Margot, if you somehow see this from federal prison, you were right about one thing. I was boring. Boring enough to quietly save my own life while you thought you were killing me. Boring enough to let you confess while recording. Boring enough to survive. Guess boring beats being a convicted attempted murderer. P.S. Her designer funeral dress, I donated it to a community theater. They're using it in a production of Arsenic and Old Lace. The irony is delicious. P.P.S. Just found out Margot's prison nickname is Smoothie. Even the inmates think she's pathetic.